Hello, beautiful people. It has been a hot minute. So, the long-awaited post-show video that I've been meaning to post, but just haven't got around to it. To be honest, my main excuse, I've just been putting it off. I haven't wanted to really open up about it mainly because I'm still not out of it. I just thought over time I would get better and come to terms with it, and I'd be in a better position to talk about it. But to be honest, it still feels extremely uncomfortable. I'm making out like I've gone through some mad, like, deep journey. At the end of the day, it's just been post-show. I've just not handled it very well. A lot of things have come to the surface that, I didn't realise were as bad, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Because I just want to be open about it. I've spoke to so many girls who have been going through the same, and, I've struggled with things in the past, like eating disorders. I got into fitness, I got into PTing because I really wanted to help other girls that were in a similar position as me. But I just kind of felt like I wasn't in a position to talk about it because, to be honest, I felt like a fraud. I felt like so proud of myself for overcoming my eating disorder when I was younger. And then bodybuilding really, really helped me and give me a purpose and channel those negative feelings and thoughts into something positive. However, coming out of my season, I kind of realised that I didn't actually heal my relationship with food. I didn't overcome my eating disorder. I kind of just buried it and normalised it because, there's a lot of bodybuilding doesn't give you eating disorder. Like, let me just put it out there. I'm not blaming bodybuilding for any of this. Bodybuilding has only ever brought me joy and happiness and purpose, and I love it. I'm not dissing it, but if you've already got a predisposition to eating disorders, unhealthy body image, those are only going to be exacerbated, especially post-show. Everyone who goes to the gym struggles with body dysmorphia. Let me tell you, as soon as you get into the gym, your body image, how you view yourself, only gets worse. Like, I was so much more confident before I started the gym than I am now, and my physique is so different. I'll try and put some photos up of like before I started the gym, and obviously you all know how I look now. Well, post-show, I'm a fat mess. But you know where I'm coming from. Let's be real, we all struggle with confidence. Bodybuilding, well, no, coming out of post-show only exacerbated my really unhealthy relationship with food that I actually didn't realise was that unhealthy until coming out of my show. So let's just talk about my season first. So I did 3 shows. I did PCA First Timers, Two Bros, and PCA British Finals, which all 3 shows I came second in, all of them, which I'm saying that out loud now, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I did that. Like, that's crazy. And even when I look at the trophies in the gym now and I look back at photos, I'm like, what the fuck? That's me. And I'm just genuinely so happy with how it went. Obviously it would have been nice to win, but we knew going into it that I needed a lot more muscle to be competitive within wellness. I'm tall. I'm 5'6", 5'7". And obviously the taller you are, the longer it's going to take for you to build muscle because you just have a stringier look. You're not as like compact and bubbly as the shorter girlies. We went into it knowing that I needed a lot more size, but we wanted to just do it to see how I lined up, to see what needed work, to see if I even enjoyed the process, to see if I wanted to continue doing it, to see if I still wanted to commit my life to this, or if I was like, you know what, I've done it now, let's do something else. And to be honest, I'm in a position now where I still don't really know what I want to do with it. I'm still getting coached by Luke. He's fucking amazing. He's like my lifeline. I genuinely don't know what I'd do without that man. I couldn't have asked for a better coach. I couldn't have asked for a better prep. Like, considering someone who doesn't like dieting, I actually really enjoyed it. Obviously, yes, it's hard. Coming up now, looking back, I'm like, how the fuck did I do that? 1,000 calories, shitloads of cardio, who the fuck knows? But you just kind of get tunnel vision and you just do it with no questions asked because you just want it. I came second, which is really, really good. But then, when I came out of British Finals, I was just kind of like, second in Britain for wellness tall is like fucking amazing. For your first season as well, I should be so made up with that. But then I was also like, if I can't even win a show, am I really built for bodybuilding? which was where my thought process was, in terms of like, you know, you see someone like Jack Eagles, he's 21, he's got his pro card, he is built for bodybuilding, he is like, you know, he can take it as far as he wants to take it because he is just a genetic freak. And yes, you can train hard, yes, you can eat all your meals, yes, you can fucking tick all the fucking boxes, but at the end of the day, you know, what's going to separate you and the elite is your genetics, and there's nothing you can do about that. The people who get on the Olympia, yes, they train hard, yes, they fucking tick all the boxes, but they also have the genetics that play a big role in, you know, their structure, their frame, how they look. And that's unfortunately something that you can't control. Okay, so I kind of like left my season thinking, maybe I'm just not built for bodybuilding. And if I'm not that good, do I really want to commit my life to something where I'm making a lot of sacrifices just to be mid? You know, I'm the one who like wants to do it. No one's forcing me to do it, but I'm like, at the end of the day, like bodybuilding, you do have to make sacrifices, and you choose to make those sacrifices, but you do. You know, you're not going to be out on the piss every weekend with your mates. You're not going to be able to go for loads of our plans especially if you're dieting. You can't. You know, you kind of want to go to bed early so you can train, so you like got a good sleep to train the next day. You know, there's a lot of stuff. You don't have to be as anal as that. You can bodybuild how you want to bodybuild. If you don't want to be optimal and you want to go on the piss every weekend, you want to have off plans, you can still do that, but you just might not make as much progress as the other guy who is ticking all the boxes and being optimal. You know, I am a person who's very all or nothing. Like, it's either I fully send it or I don't even do it. I either hate you or I love you. Like, there's just no in between. And yeah, that's a me problem. But, you know, if I want to take it somewhere, I will fucking take it all the way. So when I came out of my season, I was like, do I really want to take it all the way when I'm probably not that good? Don't get me wrong, I know, like, I put a lot of pressure on it. Like, you shouldn't put that much pressure on winning. Like, at the end of the day, a big enough win for me was I enjoyed the whole prep. I really enjoyed being on stage. I came second in all my shows, which was, looking, like, saying that out loud, like I said, like, that's actually wild. I still can't really believe it, to be honest. But I was just like, oh, I don't know. When you get stage lean, you kind of realise, like, oh, shit. Like, I actually don't have that much muscle. Like, I knew I didn't anyway, but I was like, fuck me. To tick all the boxes the past, maybe 3 years, well, maybe only 2, I've only been properly bodybuilding with a, like, proper bodybuilding coach. I was like, I've lived and breathed it. I've done all this, and I've got little to no muscle to show for it. Like, fuck. And obviously, I'm not trying to be, like, Debbie Downer. Bodybuilding takes time. It's delayed gratification. You know, you put in the work only to reap the rewards years and years and years down the line. And I am still young, you know, I'm 24. You know, the Olympians are like 35 on stage, mid-30s, like that's when you peak. I don't have that density. I don't have that muscle maturity because I'm a baby. And there's, I mean, even now I'm still in 2 minds, like, oh my God, it's amazing I came second, but oh my God, you can't even win a show. Like, I'm very like, there's like devil and an angel on my shoulder. And that's why I'm just trying to be honest and just say I don't really know what I want to do moving forward. I would love to compete, but with the headspace I'm in now in terms of my relationship with food, which I will come on to, I'm just like, is that a good idea? There's a lot of things I want to do that I need to do before I even think about competing first. I thought I'd have a cup of tea while I talk about this. It's my positive mug. Okay, got me this. Mug of positivity. Don't worry, be happy with a P. Anyway. So yeah, so obviously bodybuilding, don't get me wrong, I'm still training, I'm still eating way too much, let me just add, like, we'll come on to that in a second. I'm still relatively ticking the boxes. I'm just not as, like, on it as I used to be, which is, like, quite sad because, like I said, I've always been all or nothing. I've always been fucking 110%, never miss a beat. And now your gal is missing several beats, which I will come on to now. So after I came off my show, my last show, I was kind of like, I don't know, you come off a high, you know, you've been tunnel vision for 24 weeks, all or nothing, fucking prep. And then as soon as you come off stage, you're on a high on stage. You're like, oh my God, this is amazing. You come off stage and you're like, okay, you've got to do at least a fucking 2-3 year off season because you gal got no muscle. And it's like, great, cool. You still got a goal to work towards, but it is not anytime soon. And it's kind of like you come off a high, you feel so euphoric, and then it's like bam, like reality kind of hits you, it sinks in, you're like, shit, there's a lot more work to do. You can't switch off, like you've still got to be like in prep mode. And it's kind of like, it's exhausting. I'm not gonna lie, it's exhausting, because the whole 24 weeks you fucking batter yourself and you just ran into the ground. And then you come off stage and you're like, well, it doesn't end. Like, it just doesn't end. You know, even the Olympians, they still need to find tweak. And, you know, I've always loved that about bodybuilding, because it's never any process. You're always getting better and better and better. But it's like, that's also extremely overwhelming, because it's like, it just doesn't end. You always need more and more and more. And, you know, it's like that with everything. You know, if you get a certain amount of money, you'll be like, oh, I need this money. Same with weight, you know, you get to this weight, you want another weight. Like, you're just never happy. You never present. You never appreciate where you are at the moment. You're just chasing. And that's kind of like where I was at. I was like, fuck, like, is this a life I really want to like stick to? And, you know, commit to, if I'm not amazing at it. It's mad, because it's been like 17-18 weeks post show, and it's like, it still feels so fresh, but then it also feels like years ago. It's such a weird feeling. It's like different for everyone. Some people who I spoke to who are the same amount of weeks post show as me, they're absolutely fine. Some girls I spoke to are the same as me, who are still in a weird headspace about training, bodybuilding, food. And I think it doesn't help when I've only ever really had bodybuilding. I don't really have any other hobbies. You know, my work is also the gym. You know, I'm a coach, I'm a PT. So you just never really switch off from that. I think sometimes maybe if you've got another like lifeline and you can like put your energy into something else, that would help take like the pressure off. But you know, when my whole personality has been bodybuilding, coming off stage and realizing, shit, maybe this isn't what I want to do in future, I was kind of like, well, who actually am I? Like, who actually is Amira? Because I don't know. I don't have a fucking clue. Like, my whole personality is leg day. So coming off stage, I was like lost, kind of numb and kind of lost. Again, this isn't me slating bodybuilding. This is just like my experiences and how I felt post show. Everyone is different. But you know, I've dealt with depression, anxiety, eating disorders in the past. And like I said, it was just kind of exacerbated post show when I kind of didn't have a purpose anymore. Bodybuilding always gave me a purpose. It gave me a reason to get out of bed. It gave me goals. It gave me structure. It gave me routine. And then when you kind of realize like, maybe that's not what I want to do, it's like, well, what's my purpose now? Like, what the fuck do I do? Like, everyone needs goals in life, you know. Not everyone's will be bodybuilding, but people's might be like getting a new car, like getting their dream job, moving out to this dream house, like, I don't know, just something. And then when you don't have that, you know, as humans, we need drive, we need a purpose. And I just kind of felt off when I got off stage, like, I just don't have that anymore. But like, if I don't have that, then what do I have? And I kind of still feel like that now. Like, it's not as bad. Like, I still know deep down I do love bodybuilding. I really, really do. I will always train how I train. I will always annihilate my legs, because I just love training legs. I will always want big legs. Whether I bodybuild or not, I will always want a big bum, big quads, you know, hamstrings, everything. Whether or not I choose to progress that into bodybuilding again, I don't know. Well, saying that, yeah, I said deep down I do still love bodybuilding, but there's just a lot more, like I said, that I need to worry about and focus on at the moment, which I will come on to. So obviously everyone knows post-show, you're fucking hungry. Your calories have been low for 24 weeks. You are completely depleted. And then obviously, you know, hunger hormones are everywhere. So as soon as you get a taste for nice food, you're like, oh my God. And then you don't really have that goal of like being on stage now. You're kind of like, well, I'm going to be doing like a long off season. So you can eat all the foods you want, but you shouldn't. Because if you nail your reverse, you will be on very high food, holding good composition, with training performance going up. You won't have to mini cut anytime soon. You can do a really, really long off season, have so much room to grow. Did I do that? No. Am I a dickhead? Yes. Which brings me on to obviously saying that, like, you know, post show really like highlighted how bad my relationship with food is, and my body image as well. You know, when you're stage lean, it completely distorts your perception of what lean is. Like, every mini cut I've done before prep, I thought I was lean. bitch, you have another thing coming. Oh my God. The lowest I got down to in a mini cut was probably 64 kilograms, I think. The lowest I got down to on prep was 53. Yeah. I had another thing coming. So obviously being 53 kilos and seeing myself pale to the bone, to like anything more than that is like, I'm fat. What? Girl, you're not fat. You're literally skin and bone. Shut up. But then obviously as you reverse out, food gets a little bit higher. When I was checking in, I was like, look, I'm fat. I'm literally fat. Looking back now, oh my God, girl, you were not fat. Shut up. But, you know, because your perception of like what lean is extremely distorted, anything other than stay lean, you think you're fat. And I think that kind of got me into the mindset of like, I fucked it. I mean, I didn't fuck it. For the first few weeks, I was actually extremely good. You know, Luke said like, have an off plan. And then he gave me like a baseline, like good amount of food to start off with. Obviously, you want to bump up your calories extremely quick, especially as a female, to get your hormones back, to get your cycle back. So you bumped up to like baseline calories, which was a good amount of calories for me. I think it was around like 2,100, which is a decent amount of food. But then obviously when I was in that mindset of like, oh my God, I've got fat, it's like that all or nothing mindset, like I was explaining. It's like, I fucked it, I might as well fuck it. So as soon as I went into that fuck it mode, all hell broke loose. Let me tell you. Looking back now, I mean, I've still got an appetite somehow. Who the fuck knows? But looking back now, I genuinely don't know how I ate all of what I ate post-show. There's some stories I could tell you, and I probably will talk about them, but like for now, it's just kind of still a bit fresh. You know, I was driving to Mackey's probably every single night, eating like a fucking family 4 meal in my car, having the wrappers. I pretty much ended up like with a massive binging habit problem, which I'd never experienced because my whole eating disorder was throwing up, starving myself for weeks. You know, I was anorexic. To now being the complete opposite was such a head fuck for me. And you know, the fact I went to America on prep and I didn't eat off plan once, other than one time when Luke said I could, and I went for sushi. Like, I have a lot of discipline. I've always been so on it in any diet, but this just, Jesus Christ, like, it's like I've never eaten a day in my life. Like, I was probably eating around 10,000 calories a day for at least a few months. Bear in mind as well, like, it was around Christmas time too when I reversed out, and obviously around Christmas, everyone gives you presents, everyone's baking, you're getting chocolates, everything in the shops is food. The holiday is focused around food. So it's like, that's not really helpful as well, because everyone's food focused. You know, everyone's bulking in winter, so everyone's like, winter rock, like bulking season, blah blah blah. So, you know, and you can hide in winter because you're wearing baggy clothes. Like, you're not getting your abs out, you're not wearing like shorts and a bralette and a crop top. Like, you can hide. And that's exactly what I did. I was just pretty much eating my feelings away because yes, I was hungry. That's normal, that's expected. But yes, I was also so lost with not knowing what to do or who I was anymore, that I kind of just like lent on food for that comfort. Not to go all deep, you know, I probably will talk about it a little bit more. But obviously previously I've like self-harmed in the past. I've had like suicidal tendencies. I've done drugs, like everything bad you can think of I've probably done in the past when I was like a lot younger, which is why bodybuilding helped me so much get out of that cycle. And I think I've never really dealt with those issues. You know, you don't hurt yourself because you're not normal. You hurt yourself because there's something underlying that you need to express your emotions, and then you rely on something superficial to help that instant gratification, that dopamine rush, that numbness, to help numb those feelings or like make you feel a little bit better in the moment. But you know, there's something underlying that is still causing you those issues to do those actions. And I think bodybuilding helped me. It still does, but coming out of my show, instead of like doing those things of like self-harming, the suicidal tendencies, drinking alcohol, doing drugs, going out, I lent on food instead to help me, give me comfort. Because again, it's like instant gratification of like, oh my God, I want to feel something. And then let me tell you, I felt fucking 101 things when I was like a million kg up, and I looked like the fucking moon face when I woke up. It's not a nice feeling eating that many calories, and I've only got myself to blame, but waking up the next day feeling so lethargic, so sluggish, puffy, watery, out of breath, like I never thought I would get to that, and I'd literally hit rock bottom. I was like, there's no escaping it. And it's like, again, like I said, once you fucked it, you think you fucked it, so I might as well fuck it even more. And it's just like, it's just a spiral and spiral and spiral, and it's just like, it just got worse and worse and worse. And I ended up literally not checking in, not weighing myself, not staying on track, not eating any of my meals that were on plan, pretty much just eating off plan every single day, but not just like one off plan meal, like 3 off plan meals, plus a little bit of, well, a lot of chocolate. Chocolate is like my kryptonite. Chocolate is like crack to me. And I'm not gonna lie, it still is. I'm still really struggling with binging. I'm still really struggling with my body image, because gaining weight so quickly post-show, to put it into perspective, okay, think I'm 18 weeks post-show. Drum roll, please. Boom, boom, boom. I'm probably like 25 kilograms up in 17 weeks. Not great, not ideal. So lowest I was 53 kilograms. I'm probably around 78, 79 kilograms at the moment, which is my heaviest I've been this heavy before, but not in a short space of time. Obviously, when you gain that weight in a prolonged amount of time, your composition is going to be a little bit better. Whereas when you gain that much weight in such a short space of time, you're just getting fat. It ain't muscle. And that's exactly what I did. And like, saying that out loud, it makes me feel sick. I'm completely disgusted with myself. I can't believe it got that out of hand, that I let myself go that much. But it's happened now. I can't really do anything about it. Well, I can fucking diet. But when I ended up weighing myself and I was like, I'm actually sick of my shit now, I need to sort my life out, I was like, right, okay, we're gonna diet. Luke was like, yeah, cool. Tried to diet, and the more I ended up restricting myself again. I mean, I wasn't really in the headspace to diet anyway, you know, being so close post-show still. The last thing I wanted to do was diet, but because I couldn't stand the sight of myself anymore, I could barely look in the mirror. I barely even wanted to shower because of just looking at my body with no clothes on. I knew this would be a hard video. Looking at your body with no clothes on, when you've done that, is not nice. Hence why, like, I didn't want to like check in or anything. I didn't want to weigh myself. I just didn't want to see. I just wanted to hide behind like baggy clothes, just because I was so disgusted with how awful I'd let myself get. So yeah, I was like, want to diet. And the more I ended up restricting myself, the more it would lead to those binges. So obviously, like that binge restrict cycle, when you binge, like, right, the next day I'm going to eat nothing, I'm going to starve myself, I'm going to do shitloads of cardio to make up for like the 7,000 calories I ate the night before. But then it gets to the end of the night when you starved yourself all day and you go into like fucking mood because you're so hungry. Like, the last thing you want to do is like eat chicken and veg. You just want to eat shit again for that comfort feeling, for that dopamine hit, for that like just that like comfort. So we ended up just realizing, like, the more I restricted in this diet, the more I will just end up binging. So it was actually counterproductive, because even though I was meant to be dieting, I probably ended up gaining more weight because it was leading to these binges. So that's where we're at now. I'm not dieting anymore. I wouldn't really say I'm bulking. I mean, kind of, because I'm fucking eating like shit. At the moment now, I'm in a place where I'm trying to eat on plan as much as I can. But the more I, you know, hold this pedestal, like food on a pedestal, like these chocolates and these things, I'm like, you can't have them, you can't have them, you can't have them. It gives food that power and it makes you want them more. So if I want a little bite of like a chocolate, I'll have one, but then I give myself time to just be like, no, you don't need it all. You can have one. It's still going to be there the next day, okay? Like, I'm still learning my triggers. I'm still learning how to manage this, because it's not gone. It's not. 2 weeks ago was awful. You know, it's mad, because it's like one day I'll feel fine. The next day I feel like shit. Some weeks will be really, really good. some weeks will be really, really bad. And like this week has been a good week. I've like eaten on plan pretty much, had a few little like sweet treats, but nothing like completely awful. And to be honest, the thing I'm more scared about is, you know, we wanted to diet not only because I wanted to like feel better in my body and more confident and stop hiding away, but because I've got a holiday next week. So I'm going on holiday to the Caribbean, where I'm going to be in bikinis in the sun, not being able to hide away, which I'm not gonna lie, terrifies me. Bear in mind, when coming from a place of anorexia where I look back now and I'm like, I never want to be skinny again, to now coming out of prep where I've been lean, I'm like, I hate being this big now. It makes me feel sick. But I've always, before prep, I've always loved my off-season body. Like I said, I've been this weight before, and I've loved how I've looked. I've loved being chunky. It's given me so much confidence because training's flying, being strong makes me feel confident. I used to love off-season, whereas now off-season is not that safe space for me anymore. It's really highlighted my triggers, and I hate being this big. It repulses me, to be honest. Training might be going okay, and that's the kind of thing that's like dragged me through. I still can't stand the look of myself. I said to Luke, I don't want to think about bodybuilding. I just want to do like lifestyle, checking photos. And I don't know how long it's going to take me to get back in that posing room or look at myself or wear a crop top again. And I'm just praying that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think the scariest thing I'm going to be doing is going on a holiday next week in a bikini where I feel so uncomfortable, and I've never felt like this before. So that's going to be a real big test of confidence. But at the end of the day, I've only really got myself to blame. But at the end of the day, like, it's only really you who can help save you. No one else can. Everyone else can be there for you and give you help and give you pep talks. But at the end of the day, I need to be the one to stop stuff for myself with food. I need to be the one who's going to heal this relationship with food. I need to be the one who's going to like help drag me through, because at the end of the day, this is my issue. It's no one else's. It's my life. If I want to stop letting food dictate how I feel about myself, then I need to do something about it. And in a way, post-show is kind of like, even though it's been shit, it's kind of highlighted to me the triggers that I need to work on and the stuff I need to heal, because I didn't realize how bad it was until now. So that's kind of like where I'm at in the headspace, to be honest. I do think I still want to bodybuild, and in a few years I will probably prep again, but you know, I'm in no rush because I do need a lot more muscle. But for now, my main priority is just getting myself in a better headspace with food, feeling comfortable in my body again, getting a bit of body fat off, healthy, to the point where I don't end up in those binge restrict cycles. It's scary because I really don't know how long it's going to be. Like, I really thought by now I'd be over it and in a better headspace to talk about it, hence why I've been putting off this video, because I was like, no, when I'm better, I'll talk about it. But that day still hasn't come yet. And like I said, there's good days, there's bad days, there's good weeks, there's bad weeks, but I'm still not out of it yet. And I don't know when I will be. I really don't know. But I wanted to put this video out there to like help other girls if they've been struggling too, because I just know how common eating disorders are and like how not really talked about they are, because this is coming from a place of like guilt, shame, embarrassment, disgust. And you know, I should be so proud of myself for like completing prep and like doing so well. And I really, really am. But because of like still in the headspace I'm at now, with things just aren't normal yet, I don't really know. I just still feel quite lost. But that's okay, because we are human. And if anything, I need to think of it as in the fact that like, yeah, I feel lost, but I should be excited because I don't really know what the future holds to me anymore. Like, I'm the biggest control freak. And I've always been like, right, I'm going to do this in the future. I'm going to do this, this and this. And I've always had goals. Whereas now I'm just like, I don't really know. And it's kind of exciting to be like, I don't know what my future is going to hold anymore. If that's bodybuilding, that'd be amazing. If that's something different, then I'll find my passion. But you know, I met a lot of amazing people. I gained so many amazing relationships from it. I learned so much about myself. You know, I still am. But in prep, I learned that I really can push myself that far. I really can be disciplined. So, you know, as much as I'm like in this headspace now of like binging and restricting and not liking what I see in the mirror, You know I've done it in the past where I've gotten to the point of like I've been stage eating before, so I know I can do it. It's just that weird headspace I'm in now where like I need to work on myself, and it's never about the food. I've said this from the get-go. It's never been the food. It's never been about the food. It's about the control. It's about your beliefs about yourself. It's about your perception about yourself. It's about your self-beliefs that you tell yourself. And to be honest, I've never had a good relationship with my body image. I'm not going to go into detail about like why and like my childhood. Like, you guys don't need to know that. But you know, I've always not been kind to myself. I always talk negatively about myself. I've never been nice about myself. And I think it's time to start learning, like I need to heal that relationship with myself. So it's not necessarily about the food. It's about me as a person. It's about accepting who I am as a person, being kind to myself and giving myself the love that I give to everyone else, because I pretty much bully myself. And it's like, for what? Why? Like, has bullying yourself ever got you anywhere? If only it just makes you feel worse, which makes you rely on the negative behaviors, like the self-harm, like the food binges, like the drinking, like the drugs. And it's just like, you've just got to love yourself, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be with myself for the next 40, 50 years. So why make it any harder than life already needs to be, when life's already a bitch? You know, you've already got external factors that are like hard to control in life. Why beat yourself up about it and make yourself feel even worse? So we need to learn to love ourselves. And when I tell you how to do that, I will let you guys know. But at the moment, I don't really know how to do that either. I really don't. And I hope the next video, you know, I'm going to document my trip to the Caribbean, by the way, which is another reason why I wanted to get this video done, so I can like edit it and get it out there for you. And then the next videos will be me in the Caribbean, sipping some juice on the beach, living my best life, but also explaining to you how I feel, maybe, you know, being so uncomfortable in my skin and then having to be in a bikini next week is going to be terrifying. But what better way to throw myself in the deep end and accept myself for who I am and what I've done than do that. So that's going to be interesting. So yeah, that's kind of just like my thoughts at the moment. It's just a bit of a waffle. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, resonated with it, realize you're not alone if you're also going through it. Just know that like it is so normal, and I spoke to so many girls who feel the exact same. But like I said, because it comes from a place of like shame and guilt and embarrassment, people don't want to talk about it because they feel like embarrassed. And it's not something to be embarrassed about, because it is so normal nowadays. As sad as that sounds, it is so normal, because most people struggle with body image. We just don't talk about it because we pretend like we're happy, we pretend like we're fine, we edit our photos, you see what we want you to see on social media. Like, people don't want you to see the bad things, because is that going to get likes? Probably not. Is a face up photo of a girl with a big ass and a small waist going to get likes? Yeah, it is. So, you know, that's the world we live in nowadays, and that's why I just think social media can be amazing, but it can also be extremely toxic if you're not in the right headspace with how you look and everything. This isn't a pity party. This isn't a, oh my god, feel sorry for me. At the end of the day, I chose to prep. I don't regret it. If anything, like I said, I loved it. This isn't blaming bodybuilding. Bodybuilding's only ever given me joy, a purpose, a reason to get up in the morning. I've loved it. But like I said, it's just highlighted the unhealed relationship I have with myself, my body image and food that I need to work on. So if anything, I should thank this whole journey, because it's just showing me the bits of myself that I need to heal, that I haven't done, so that I've just buried to the surface. And the more you bury it, the more it's going to come out. So yeah, thank you for listening to me waffle. I know it's not been short, but it was never going to be, so I do apologise. But that's just my experience and thoughts of where I'm at the moment. And I really hope it's helped some people just realise you're not alone. But I'm sending all the love. And if you ever want to speak about anything, my DMs are always open. You're not alone. I'm sending you all the love and positivity with my little positivity mug. But yeah, stay tuned for my Caribbean vlog in a few weeks. And I'll see you guys later. Sending lots of love.